Hello and welcome to Hammerhead Sports Productions. I am here with QB's coach, David Hathaway.
Correct.
Hi, cat. Sorry, there's a cat in the background. I love cats. He has agreed to do this interview with me. Thank you again, and giving me your time. So I guess let's hit it off.
Let's do it. I'm going to have to say hi first.
Yes, I can.
We can restart.
Don't worry, I'm going to leave that part in. So I guess my first question is, with how long have you either been coaching or coaching with the team?
The Destroyers' first year, I've been coaching for 1 year, the assistant with the Warlords. I'm not too sure of the year with Coach Y. And then I did the Generals for like 4 years. This is like my 5th year.
Was it like a semi coming out of retirement to coach?
Honestly, it was a lot of my good friends and stuff. And Coach Y was my coach when I played semi-pro for the Bay State Thunder way back. And so just Coach Y's the man, so we always just kept the line open. And anytime he would be a head coach somewhere, a lot of his former players are my friends too, so a lot of them would be the coaches. So I would tag along, get involved that way.
Was curious as to so that kind of leads to the next question is with so you've known Coach Y both through playing and through coaching and everything, and as soon as he called you to come be a coach on here, you said yes?
Yeah, he basically recruited Keon. Keon's one of my best friends. So we're getting the band back together. So I was like, all right, let's do it.
How long have you known Keon?
Since high school.
That long?
Yeah, he was like a rival. I was learning English, he was in classical. So we had some battles, but we'd all hang out together.
Did you both start coaching like at the same time?
He was coaching some high school and stuff, and I thought it was cool. So then when he had the opportunity with Coach Y with the Warlords, I was like, yeah, that sounds dope. I'll try that out. So I came and helped him. We had a really good team. It was fun.
Have you won any championships in your past playing or coaching career?
No. Finals a lot, but never, not the whole thing, no.
You're kind of anxious to get one at least?
Absolutely, yeah.
And get the first ring on the finger and say, "Oh, I've got 5 more to go on you, Brady."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at least 5. Yeah. Yeah, that would be an awesome feeling for sure.
So now that we're getting close to the season and everything, I know you have been busy and haven't been able to make every practice, but in how do you feel about what you've seen with the quarterbacks and how they've been progressing with their battles through the reps?
I feel like it's the usual, especially when they're trying to learn some new offense, adapting to new coaches and stuff. But all in all, yeah, they've been doing good. There's some dogs up, which is what you want. So, and I think there's some potential there for sure with the quarterbacks.
I know this might not be the greatest time to ask. Is there a front runner, or is there a guy that people are leaning towards that is probably going to be starting?
I would say it's definitely not etched out yet for sure. But Spence has been at every practice, so he was the backup quarterback last year, I believe. So I think he had the first opportunity for sure. So I would say it's kind of his to lose.
And out of curiosity, if it came to this kind of situation, would you do by committee at least the first couple of games just to see how each one would respond to certain situations and certain teams and their defenses, just to feel them out?
That's a great question. It wouldn't be my decision because that would be, the offense coordinator, so that'd be him. But that's a good question. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but generally like to give a quarterback a full game scenario just to see. The worst is when you're just warming up and then you're like, all right, it's the next guy's turn, So I've always liked to give guys a full game, at least at the beginning, to see let them earn it. Yeah, so I don't know if I would do that as the first game or two, but generally I would like to go personally with the starting quarterback and the keys and let them work out all the little kinks.
So it would be like his to lose, basically.
Yeah, that's how I would do it. But again, I would fall back to what do you want to do?
Okay, fair question, fair answer. And probably that is the right way to go. Since it didn't work with Tom Landry, it probably wouldn't work here.
Sometimes that works if you have like a straight running quarterback or quarterbacks have two different styles, and sometimes you might utilize their skill set by putting them in scenarios. But
like the New Jersey Generals,
what they do?
They would use I forget the guy's name, who for the one quarterback I believe was Johnson. He was more of a running quarterback, and their starter was
Is that the USF? The USFL this past season?
Yeah, and the starting quarterback was Luis Perez, and he was more of a pocket guy, and they would switch them out depending on situations in the red zone and midfield to try to get first downs, and that's more or less how they did it the whole year. And they made it to the championship game, but lost to the Philadelphia Stars, I believe.
Oh. Yeah, I feel like it can work in scenarios for sure, but if you have two totally different skill set guys and they both have great skills and you're trying to get them on the field, they can work in certain scenarios for sure.
Before people kill me in the comments, I may have actually been the Birmingham Stallions, so I don't want people to kill me in the comments.
Yeah, was it USFL or XFL?
USFL. And I love them both.
Yeah, there was a game on yesterday, I forget. I watched a little bit.
Yeah, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. I don't know who won.
They were both 4-2, I think.
Philly was 3-3, and Pittsburgh was 2-4.
So I think it was a different game. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of fans in the stadium.
I know, but the games are good.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, wasn't there one of our players that was getting a tryout?
On the Destroyers?
Yes.
Oh, nothing.
I believe Anthony Thomas. Do you know whether or not he made it or not?
Oh, good question. I'm not too sure about that.
Because if he makes it, I would love to watch him on TV.
Absolutely.
Because I think they get, USF. Oh, it was XFL. XFL players, I think, get a minimum of like $10,000-$15,000.
I was wondering what they get. I figured it was like 30,000 max or something. But
a whole year, I think they make at least 500,000.
Oh wow! Oh.
I think.
Well, that's a lot more than I thought. But it was always cool to see the guys in the semi-pro league. Like the big one was the arena leagues, where a lot of our guys would be in those leagues.
Yeah, the indoor football league. I love that one.
So we had a few guys with the Generals that would play. And like you said, it's cool to watch them on TV. Like, oh, this is my guy. It's one of our guys.
Yeah, I got to get myself to one of the Massachusetts Pirates games. They're really good.
Yeah. One of my former players is coaching on that team too.
Only $15. I'll go. $15? Hell yeah. Watch a game for a couple hours and watch them go score, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Let me know if you go.
Okay. I will if you want to.
Yeah, for sure.
So moving on, I was wondering, what was your impressions, because we recently had a practice with the, was it the Chargers?
The Boston Bandits?
Boston Bandits. So our joint practice with the Boston Bandits, what were your kind of thoughts on the practice and overall how we performed kind of in the conditions because it was an absolute monsoon.
Yeah. I know going in, I'm like, oh, what, are they going to have it? It's going to cancel because it was raining.
Badly.
So I think it affected our numbers a little bit too. I mean, when did we end up having that day? Probably.
The last time I counted, we had 23.
And what did they have? Did you get a count on them? They had about 40,
I would guess
45.
at least 35.
They were stacked. They had the whole squad. That could be intimidating going down into, you know.
Oh, I was
intimidated. Boston. Going down into Boston. And these boys hung. Yeah, they hung. They held their own. I was really proud of them, actually. And sometimes you put different levels on an upper echelon, and you don't realize you can hang with them boys. But football's football. If you're a dog, you're a dog. They bleed just like us. So they held their own, especially considering we didn't have a full line, you know, certain scenarios. So all in all, I think we did really good.
I had heard it was mentioned that sort of you had to create plays maybe on the fly. Was that true?
Yeah. So when I left, I had my playbook and everything here at the house. Usually I always have it in my car, and I'm like halfway there. And I'm like, all right, let me just start looking over stuff in traffic here and stuff. And sure enough, I forgot my bag here. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So, yeah. It's like forgetting your sneakers going, it's like a nightmare situation. So, I mean, granted, it was only practice. I mean, not scrimmage, but inter-squad scrimmage. But, no, that's what I mean. Even considering all that happened, I feel like the boys did a really good job.
Was there any particular set that really impressed you with, and like a set of plays?
Stuck out. Not well. The boys made some nice catches in traffic, coming down with the ball. I was proud of that. When they were running the ball, they ran hard. Nothing like stuck out crazy that I would highlight, but just all in all, it was like they were scrapping. And there were plays that were open. We probably could have made some big plays too, but like you said, sometimes in a situation like that, you just gotta let your heart rate calm down. You're like, oh shit, you know how fucking big these guys are and all this. And then just play ball. You make a couple completions, run for 5 or 6 yards, gain a little confidence, a little momentum. Realize you can bang with these boys.
So I guess getting into the latter part, so how do you feel like we're going to be kind of, I guess this kind of does go back to the quarterbacks with what you've seen. Do you think we're going to be more of a sort of pocket pass, try to pick up what we can West Coast offense, or kind of more geared towards more ground and pound stuff with what you're seeing? And I know
I think we have the capabilities of both. Yes, a lot of it does have to do with Keon. Keon likes to ground and pound, so. But I think we have the capability. The receivers impress me. Yeah, they can get open. End of the day, I think we can do everything. So I think we can have a nice balance of both. That's why Keon likes to bring me in to help him. Because I like to know a little bit of the spread, the passing stuff, and Keon likes to pro set, run game. I think there's a place for both of them for sure. When the O-line is there, beginning of the season, practicing, they're looking really good. So I think we can have the ability to run the ball very well.
Now that our first game is coming up, how do you feel? You going into our first game? Are you like a little nervous, confident, or like a little bit both? Since number one, this is our first year, many of us on this team, and that we still got some battles going on for certain positions, and we haven't been able to see everybody and get a full grasp of our depth.
Yeah, I think we'll be perfectly fine once we have the full roster there, or even just enough we can have subs on both sides of the ball comfortable, because We're just with the limited numbers, I see a lot of potential. So I think because we have a bunch of players that are playing in the spring leagues. I know a lot of the dudes are tied up. I think once everything's cleared and the season starts, it might start off a little slow, but I think we're gonna roll with the talent that we got for sure.
Do you think some guys might be just waiting for the first game and just will show up?
That is traditionally a semi-pro thing sometimes with some players for sure. I'm sure there's a few players maybe doing that, but it seems like most of the ones are tied up with another league. And then maybe some people are just tentative to see how this is all going to work out. Like, come on, I don't want to jump all in yet. Let me see how it goes.
Why'd you pay $200 freaking?
Yeah, true.
Like, it was $200 for an entrance onto the roster. Then it's $150 for the gear. So that's $350,
yeah.
And they still want to wait.
They probably didn't pay yet.
Oh, that's good. Fair point.
That's a big thing in semi-pro too, yeah.
Because I just never understand it. Because if you buy in, put all this money, and then you don't show up, what was the point?
Absolutely, yeah.
I guess my question is is if certain guys would come in on the day of the game, how would it, in your case, how would you handle it?
I know a lot of the coaches we got are going to give the guys that have been there first dibs, no doubt. But, I mean, sometimes you need the numbers regardless, so you might be stuck in a situation you're going to have to play the guys.
Okay.
But I think you play the guys who are there all preseason first, obviously. And then we'll see how serious the guys that show up. Because if they show up in the first game, get a little burn, and then they don't come to practice again, then that could be an issue for sure. I think it will all level out, like you said, starting like week 1. I think we'll see the team tighten up. Who's about it? Who's going to be there for the year?
Adding on to that with the season is I forget. So do we get 8 or not 10 games?
That's a great question. Used to be 10, but I'm not sure. I'm not too sure.
I think it is 10. So, do you think this team at least has the ability to make the playoffs this year?
I think absolutely, yeah. And again, a lot of that's predicated on filling the roster out with people who are there all the time. But not totally. I've seen glances of it here when dudes come here and here. So I think once it all comes together, yeah, for sure.
And you're
especially in the double A, I think that's all.
Is there really a difference between the double A, triple A, and single A stuff? Because I know there's been conversations about that, but
Definitely.
I don't really understand it.
Definitely. Yeah. My experience, yeah. Some of the higher double A teams can definitely bang. Some teams get stuck in the division they probably shouldn't be in. But all in all, yeah, that triple A, there were some big boys and some speed for sure. It's almost like college sports, like every level, they still got good talent, but the size gets a little smaller or something. That's what I've noticed.
Okay. I guess my last 2 questions, and then we can wrap up, and I won't take any more of your time today. So, with regards to the coaching, do you, if Coach Y stays next season as well, would you stay as well?
Yeah. Coach Y's my guy, yeah.
And for Bang, anything bad happening, you would come back.
Yeah. No, he's one of them guys, I'll follow forever.
I think we all will at this point.
That guy's such a great guy.
And
unless I couldn't for reasons of work and stuff like that, yeah, for sure. practicing.
The last question now is what's your policy with terms of divas? If we were to have any divas. Oh, the cat's gone. If we had any divas.
I don't mind divas as long as you're a dog and you ball out. You know what I mean? But when you're not a team player type of diva, yeah, I don't play that. And I know Keelan don't play that, and like Coach Jackson don't play that. That's why I don't play that. You gotta bring something to the table for sure. If you're gonna be a diva, you better play hard. You better play hard.
Because I guess there had been like a little scuffle at the practice, so that's why I wanted to ask that question, just so our policy is made clear.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't see it, but I guess it happened on the sideline where somebody had like taken exception to not getting the ball and everything.
Yeah, and I think he was in the heat of the moment. Yeah, but that was disgusting, honestly. And then, but he checked himself later. Why let him know? And he came to the realization he fucked up. So he apologized to the boys.
So that would be if like player like if realizes like, okay, I screwed up, I overreacted, apologize. That would be forgiven.
Everyone makes a mistake here and there, so I wouldn't kill someone one time. But if you start doing it multiple times, you find out who you really are, and
then we have a problem.
Yeah, then we got a problem.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
So I hope you ladies and gentlemen enjoyed. Thank you again, Dave, for doing this. Sorry.
What do you think?
So I will be releasing more videos soon, and hope you guys catch our first game. I will be attempting to live stream it on June 10th. We will be playing the Haverhill Hitmen in Haverhill, and hope you ladies and gentlemen enjoyed. See you next time.